Afraid the sky starts to change, yeah, we won't be afraid. We'll never be the same again.
With anime in our souls and thoughts of wrestling out of control, we are a group of weebs who love the entertainment of professional wrestling. So allow us to be the voices inside of your head as we go through the wrestling events of the evening, give our thoughts and predictions on what's to come, and provide an experience inclusive to all you nerds out there. So grab your steel chair, yell for the table, get put through an experience unlike any other. Brought to you, of course, by Animal Studio. This is the Weebs of the Ring podcast. Welcome, everybody. It is another glorious Monday, but was Raw glorious? Well, we'll talk about that here in just a second. As you see, the full team is finally here for the first time in 2026. All three of us are here in the same room, in the same call, here to talk about the same exact show. So, if you're wondering the lore of how they've returned after being devoured by me, well, acid reflux is a hell of a thing, so I had to kind of get rid of some things, but that's fine, at least I did get a relatively good meal out of devouring these two. But if you want to know the lore behind that, go watch Friday's stream. Go watch last week's Stranger Things collaboration stream video. Yeah, as you can see, our genius here is giving the exact...
But I will say, great thumbnail. I was proud of the text I did and the whole idea of it. So great execution on the thumbnail and the audio feed podcast thumbnail. That's what I say.
Yes, at least there were some positives come out of that. But let's get right into all the business, all the chicanery and all that stuff. As you see, we are three lovely gentlemen. You might be returning here, so you already know our names, but for the newcomers around here, for all those lovely people that have discovered us just recently and all that, who are we besides calling ourselves the Weebs of the Ring? Well, first and foremost, I am your reigning, defending, undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion of the world. It's Watkins here. I'm going to be your guide through all the bullshit that is sports entertainment, and whether you were entertained by the lack of sports that they had, we'll have to talk about all of that. As you see, I'm holding a title that WWE has seemed to forget exists. We'll probably talk about that later on tonight. And as always, now back again for the first time in 2026, two lovely gentlemen are here to join me in the conversation. First and foremost, he's known as a self-proclaimed visionary, a self-proclaimed revolutionary. He works for The Rock on occasions, and he's got some Latino heat going on in him. His hair's, not as wet as some Latino heats, but it's fine. It's all good. It's cool. It's neat because his favorite wrestler of all time, Bill Goldberg, doesn't even have hair, so it works out fine. It works out perfectly for him. But, ladies and gentlemen, from the Tempest Isles himself, Legend D Vash. Vash, how you doing tonight?
Everyone is your visionary, the self-proclaimed Latino heat. My hair's not wet, but it could be wet in other places and other times. But if you catch my drift, you know what it is, like Tokyo Drift. Out here, we are not the Goldberg fan, but I am and made the time to listen to many podcasts this past week, like the Steve Austin one, like the one that I finally made time for, the AJ Styles one with Stephanie McMahon, and there was another one, the Finn Balor. Hey, I do a lot of training. If you're Rob Van Dam and you catch my drift, you also know that he also retweeted that. Said that, hey, Finn, I'm ready here. Where you at? I'm here for this training. Dude, these libations be crazy.
Dude, that was crazy when I saw that clip go around. Like, oh yeah, after I'm done training or during training, I'm smoking some weed, smoking some doobies. It's like, oh.
Bro, I was laughing because, I was listening to the whole podcast. I think the podcast is like an hour and 5 minutes, an hour 10. Then that line, in case for anybody that will go watch it, don't be like me expecting to hear within the first 20, 30, 40 minutes, 45. No, you hear at the 1 hour and 30 minute mark, for example, in case the show is like a full 1 hour and 5, you literally hear in the last 2 minutes of the show. I'm like, the show's about to end. When did the Finn Balor smoking weed thing happen? Like, no bit happens in the last 2 minutes when they're doing the outro. When it just happens and Cody was like, that's a great way to end the show, Chad. All right. That's how it ends. and I love it. It's such a Finn Balor thing now. It makes me question him no more now because
Mhm.
I take those libations, chat, and I don't got six pack like this man does. So like, what am I doing wrong? But I know what it is. It's his diet. He has spoke about it in the interview as well. He has a consistent schedule and routine he goes by, and that's something that's really something that you always hear about somebody that is
Mhm.
by a regimen. So that's one of the highlight things I would say that I've been doing on the wrestling community side and doing my homework, do my due diligence on finding out these other wrestlers that we watch. And speaking about Finn Balor, we was talking about him tonight because, like he told
Yep.
everyone, watch and see, ladies, watch and see, and we did see. But will we be calling him Finn Balor once more, or will they give us an upset next week in the home of Ireland?
Well, here to drop that box of knowledge is none other than Drop This Box. He's known around these parts as the genius of the mat. He's going to let us know all the storylines. He's going to help us process all of them, maybe help us understand some of them, and not going to lie, kind of agree with him as well, as he was given the big old thumbs down for things recently and showing off a trash can that looked a lot better than some Monday Night Raws that we've had. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, drop this box. Drop how you doing tonight after your well-deserved vacation. By the way, hopefully
I
you were
agree.
able to rest up a little bit. But how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good, and yeah, I would probably have to say the same. Like, I really wasn't feeling this Raw outside of a few parts, and that's honestly how I've really felt with Raw for quite a bit now. There's always like some things on there, like AJ Styles and Gunther, and putting Finn Balor in a spot that he needs to be when it comes to him and CM Punk having a moment tonight. Like outside of
Mhm.
stuff that really matters, is I can't just look at something. So you know what, that's cool, but I mean, out of those two specific things that stood out for me, there really wasn't much. Like even like the match that we had for like who's going to be the number one contenders for the women's title. I mean, I can't really say I cared too much for that, to be honest, because it's just the people in that division need to just be in the division that they need to be. They're not mid
Mhm.
carders. They don't all need to keep fighting for that title forever and ever. If you want to continue the storyline with the Kabuki Warriors and Rio, then do that. If you want to just have Roxanne and Liv go after the titles and start a little thing with Rhea and Io to give us a fresh feud, do that. But it's like Bayley, Lyra, like all this other stuff. I just don't care. It's like it's just
Mhm.
I'm gonna be tough on them this year because they let me down a lot last year when it came to what they were doing, and it's not just us speaking about this. A lot of people online were saying the same thing. 2025 was a awful year for
Yeah.
Mhm.
WWE when it comes to the kind of decisions that they were making, when it comes to the interviews, or when it comes to the business decisions that they're making and everything. I mean, I can say that I feel super confident where I'm going to wipe a clean slate and say that Royal Rumble is going to be any better because, I mean, in all honesty, they made a mistake last week. They didn't do what I wanted them to do, and I'm really hoping and praying they're not doing it at the Royal Rumble. Would it be a cool moment for him? Sure, but that's not how I want to see it go down if that is the case. Like, it,
Yeah.
it seems like I feel like their biggest issue mainly is like they focus too much on moments, like something
Mhm.
with a Drew McIntyre that we got. That right there is called doing something unexpected, like catching the audience off guard. Because I kid you not, when I watched that show or just saw the clips of it, just how they feed it, just how they give everything to Cody, and they just let whatever the opponent down. That's what I was expecting, but pull us under the rug and actually do something different. And just looking at how Raw is laid out and everything, I mean, it just seems like super predictable with like what they're doing of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of things that I mean, this is just mainly WWE as a blanket anyways. A lot of what they do anymore is they just they just tell chapters, like little tiny chapters. It's like when you're reading a manga. Like let's say
Chapter
you're reading
one.
a like a One Piece chapter or whatever. And you can tell that it's just kind of it's a setup chapter. It's setting up for something that's about to happen a chapter or two later on. Like, oh, Luffy finally got to like the third floor of Onigashima. He sees the stairs and all that. Great, awesome. When's he getting to the rooftop? Oh, and like 10 more chapters when he finally reaches the fifth floor and it
That-
has the stairs going up to the outside of the roof.
If you want, please go check out Weebs Lounge episode 208 and 209. We have spoken about One Piece and rooftops, so that's why he's still on that mindset. But another example I want to use on top of that, like last week on the Stranger Things, they kept saying chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter
Yeah.
3 with their transition. It felt so forced, and I get it. Like one of the most exciting part out of the show, which was a backstage segment or a audience front segment, was with Jevon Evans, where he felt it didn't feel like a script. It felt like off the dome, energy, chaotic. It just felt very authentic. And that's something that I love. And him even poking fun or poking like a kissy face to Netflix. They're like, yeah, Netflix, I got you, buddy. Mwah. And
Yeah.
literally just acting like that. And that felt natural. I really loved that segment, just him being organic and just going off the dome, because I know Drop is the one that put me on Stranger Things back in August. We watched the whole show and the show itself of season 5, and we finally caught that. But to see a Stranger Things type of collab with Netflix, aka and Raw on Monday night, just to feel so poorly and feel like more of a setup of production, just the set itself. Nobody doing cosplay, nobody doing the outfits, or nobody actually. It just felt cringy segues with chapter 1s and a cringy intro from Corey Graves and Michael Cole. Just felt like more of an entertainment aspect, which they have told us that this is a sports entertainment. But like, hey, us fans overall, we missed the sport aspect when it comes, like, for example, the Gunther and AJ Styles match, that felt entertaining when it felt the Scottish Warrior and Cody. But it's like, we don't want only one match of the night to feel sport. We also want the whole show itself. Like you said, not just an episode of a chapter. We want the whole episode itself. And that's what we should ask for.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we're asking that much, because I know Drop, he told us off air, he disliked the Stranger Things collab last week, and he's a Stranger Things fan. And he loves the show. And just to see that collab with Ross, like, if I know that it will give anybody like a sour taste.
Mm-hmm. yeah. Well, like, and this will be the last thing, and we can move on to this week.
Yeah.
Because I said it last week. It felt very much like a high school being like, oh, here's our Stranger Things themed basketball game. Everybody, literally, they were on Twitter being like, everybody dress up in cosplay, dress up as your favorite Stranger Things character, come to Monday Night Raw. It's like
tried.
nobody
They
did.
tried.
Even because like didn't they do something during the commercial where you were
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, they said, oh, let's look at those costumes, and
The
they
signs.
panned. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was the signs. That's right. But that's all last week. If you want to check out more complaining about last week, go check out last week's episode about Monday Night Raw. But what about this week? How did they capitalize on what they did and didn't do from last week into this week? Well, some things bled in from last week that were decent. Other things that could have just been an email. All right, cool, neat, awesome.
Jay also, you definitely.
Oh, a few other things as well. So we're going to start, as always, with our headline story. This is something, it could be either the main event, the main talking point of the show, or our World Heavyweight title picture. But nah, this one involves our main event, being Gunther and AJ Styles taking on each other one-on-one for the first time ever, televised. Now, I'm saying televised because I'm pretty sure it was like late 2024 when Gunther had the title. He was facing like AJ on some house shows during that holiday tour or whatever. But again, this is televised, and I really like this match. You know, the story of it being that AJ wants to make Gunther tap out like a bitch, you know, because that's been Gunther's thing ever since Cena got retired and all that. So whole crux of the match is AJ targeting the leg of Gunther, chopping down the cherry tree. I really like this because like this is a good test for Gunther. Whereas he had it first with like the Randy Orton match, for example, when he won the world title the first time. And I mean, yeah, he had that test. Cool, neat, awesome, fantastic. AJ's a bit of a different breed because AJ he moves around a little differently than Randy. And again, if anything, AJ's probably the best wrestler alive today. So take that with what you want. But I thought this match was good. They still left a little bit more to be desired, which I think is what they need for a feud like this. Like, leave me wanting a little bit more, so that way when we do get the inevitable rematch, I'll be all here for it. And there is leeway. There's a way to get to a rematch because I think this might be one of my favorite bits of heel work here, or like I struggle saying chicken shit heel because Gunther's really not that kind of heel, but they're trying to run with this. But it's a very smart play that we have here. So Gunther's locked in the calf crusher, and we have the referee, checking on him, checking on AJ and all that. But like as the referee's like head, like, and you can see like Gunther like going like looking back and forth to make sure where the ref is looking. But Gunther taps AJ's leg, making AJ think that he made Gunther tap out and that the match is over. But the referee didn't see it at all. But since AJ felt it, he let go of the hold. And he's arguing with the ref enough to the point where the ref is still like telling Alicia Taylor, no, the match isn't over yet. The match isn't over yet. It's still going. Wham! Wham! Get a lariat right to the crotch. Powerbomb. 1, 2, 3. Gunther wins. I'm so happy about it. I do like the finish. I'm sure, I'm sure people don't, which is fine. It's all good. We can all like what we like. Just don't be an asshole about it. But I really like it because it's showing that like AJ seems more believable to me to defeat Gunther than I'm just gonna say it, Jey Uso last year at Mania, but that's whatever. Because at least AJ's like an elite fighter. I don't know. Again, there's layers in my head where I kind of categorize everybody. And AJ's one of those people that's like, I can believe you beating Gunther or like pushing Gunther to this point.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm gonna pass off to you guys about all this. I'm gonna start with our resident Gunther hater here in Vash.
Oh, I was saying that it must not be me. It must not. That's crazy. Look, with that being said, I'm gonna just follow up towards what you said at the end. I love how commentary had to remind us that Jey Uso pinned Gunther on last year's WrestleMania. And when I heard that, I'm like, oh yeah, that happened. Look, guys, I love Jey Uso, but he's not the type of crazy. He's a hype wrestler. He's an entertainment wrestler. That's what he's not a Roman Reigns, or he's not a tactician of in-school wrestling with like Cody Rhodes or like AJ Styles, like you mentioned, like when it comes to the style. But when Michael Cole reminded us that yes, it was definitely Jey Uso the last one to do this, and I'm like, damn, I don't think they want to do AJ Styles back to back. Like, yes, they did a WrestleMania, then they did this year, January, close to WrestleMania. I don't know if they would do that. Like, it would be a surprise. And I don't think it would turn down Gunther stock since it's AJ Styles, but also with commentary reminding us that this is AJ's last year. Like, they're reminding us, telling us like, hey guys, be prepared, this is last year. We will soon to be hearing a last final match sometime soon, sometime around the summer, who knows. But just hearing those things on commentary was really awesome, just to be reminded. Commentary, I will say, was really good tonight with their visualization, explanation, and like there's a few times where AJ said AJ did a move that it didn't get him fully, but commentary like tells him like, hey, he got him, but got him enough or close enough. Like those things kind of tell fans like still being involved that it took points out of the health point bar of said opponent or said person. So I kind of really like how commentary has been doing better, even though the move set it didn't get them all the way, or it didn't hurt them, or it wasn't executed as good as it was supposed to, like it did in training. That really helps the audience, kind of help them know that when you're not a long-time wrestling fan or a person that knows when it comes to those things, I feel like commentary did really good tonight. So I want to give them the shout. The last thing I want to add before I pass it to Drop is fucking Gunther. He had good spatial awareness. I gotta give the props. Like Watkins said, did I like the execution before I saw the different angle? No, because I love AJ. I enjoy Gunther. Not saying I don't love Gunther, but I enjoy him a lot. But I wouldn't say I love him. I do like him very much, but I'm like, damn. But I did catch from the before they showed the other angle that the arm was there. Like I saw some type of sputter from the camera. I'm like, wait, why does it look weird? But then once we see AJ coming, like, yo, he won. He tap out. AJ's not the type of person that would tell us a lie. He wouldn't do a sneaky move like, yeah, he did tap, you didn't see it. And I like how the ref was like, nah. And I love how AJ kind of dragged him, like, yo, bro, come here. It's part of the story. Come on, come through. And then for AJ to walk by himself, like, of course, he's going to get hit or something. And then he got a lariat. And I'm like, damn. Like, that shit looks like it was aggressive, like, downright up there. I'm like, God damn. And then, of course, he got that beautiful powerbomb. By the way, nice powerbomb transition. Show him up there, and then the camera transitioned fast while he dropped. I'm like, that was a really cool transition camera work. But other than that, I love how Gunther just stares at the cameras while he's at the front of the audience. He just like, I'm still the best. Still the best. Yeah.
Yep.
Just staring at the camera. Like, that was good work. That was good character work. I enjoyed that.
See, Vash doesn't feel good to be on the right side of history when it comes to Gunther, for once.
When it comes to storytelling, yes, I agree.
Doesn't feel good. Just because he made your favorite, just because he made your favorite Goldberg pass out at Saturday Night's Main Event, you know, you don't have to hold that grudge forever. You know, you don't have to.
No. Sometimes you gotta put the book on the shelf and go up the stairs, and then watch your siblings come down and play D&D. But yeah,
that's a better transition, a reference than fucking what WE did last week. I was all saying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't care what people say. That was like a perfect way to end that episode. But when it comes to like this match itself, like this was probably one of the things I was looking forward to, because these are two wrestlers that a lot of people care about, especially when it comes to AJ Styles, which I'm hoping, since they are pushing the whole thing of it being his final year, which we know it is, I'm really hoping they treat it that way. I'm not saying this like, oh yeah, it's going to be some John Cena kind of thing. I'm just hoping he's in more high profile matches. That's what I mean by that. Like having a match with Gunther, I would consider that being a high profile match that he's in, because he's going up against another wrestler that's getting a lot of attention right now. So that's good on him. I just really want them to get the best of it. I mean, I know pretty soon this month, when it comes to TNA's premiere and AMC, he's going to be there as well. So, I mean, so far, those two things I mentioned, it's a good thing for him. I'm just hoping that they do what they can with him. I don't want him just to be like a pin eater this entire year. Like, I want him to have maybe another run with the belt, you know, even if it's like a good 3 to 4 months or so. Give him another run with the belt. It wouldn't hurt. It's been quite some time, honestly. He's only been a 2-time WWE champion in this company. And
2-time, really?
Yeah. So I would love.
I thought he would have been 5 by now.
Realistically, you should have. You would think, yes, because I mean, I can understand other people coming in and then not really putting them where they need to be. But I mean, this is AJ Styles. He's one of the veterans in the game. He deserves that treatment. Like what John Cena was at WWE, that's what he was to TNA, and that's why he was so big around the time when he came over to the company and he came at the Royal Rumble. Like I still remember those reports coming out. I still remember watching JD's podcast one time when he was talking about all the news circulating around AJ Styles. Like that was a pretty big moment when he finally came over. It's literally like Spider-Man and Superman shaking hands. Like that was a pretty big thing around the time when he came over. So I'm hoping for the best for them. I'm hoping this isn't a one-time thing. Like I'm really hoping they could make a feud out of this. That's why I'm also happy that he's not a tag champion anymore, because don't get me wrong, him and Dragon Lee were good champions, but at the same time, he doesn't need to be in that spot. He's AJ freaking Styles, so I'm hoping they extend this feud of him and Gunther. They could do a little more with it. I highly doubt it's a one-off because especially the way that the match ended with like just hitting him in the nuts and then doing the finisher and then hitting him and moving on. I highly doubt it's over. Like, have some fun with it. Don't like do this like 2 to 3 week thing and then it's over. Like literally there's nobody else that Gunther realistically would work with on this show outside of people that aren't here yet that are still in NXT that I would really want to see. Like him and AJ Styles is perfect. They set it up, keep building on it and doing things. And Gunther, I will say, was very smart with the decisions that he's made. I mean, he's the ring general for a reason. And obviously, if you're a man that knows the ring, you know all the tricks. So that's the tricks that he pulled here. So he was able to outsmart his opponent. So he was able to win. And even with him, I'm hoping they take advantage of what they're doing right now with both of these guys. Like you can create, I can't really tell you honestly when it comes to WWE because AEW last year probably had this more in their court than WWE. If this was 2024, I can probably say this, but I can't remember. I can't really recall them having that much of like a feud. I could really say out of 2025, like how CM Punk and Drew was in 2024, or Cody and Roman was building up to WrestleMania 40. Like, you could easily do something like this with these two guys. Because even AJ said himself, he's like, yeah, me and Cena didn't see eye to eye all the time, which we know. But one thing that they did always always had in mind was the whole respect thing. So it's like you could easily run with that. You could work with it. AJ Styles, he's not a wuss. He's not going to take any shit that Gunther's throwing at him. He's going to keep coming back. You think AJ Styles is going to walk away after what Gunther pulled tonight? No.
Oh no.
He'll be coming back. He'll be slapping the taste out of his mouth and everything. So all in all, like it was good for what we saw here. I'm happy this closed out the show, and I just want it to be a feud. I want more legs on it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I hope this gets some time, some breathing room to actually be a story. Because, when we were doing our end of the year awards, we got to feud of the year, and I believe I made a joke too about there was a feud of the year. Like
we could honestly,
like from all companies, really. I mean, there was a couple of the standouts, but like they were only kind of standing out because they were the only feuds. I mean, hell, what I remember one of the honorable mentions was technically a feud that bled over from 2024 in Tony Storm and Mariah May, but I mean, it ended in 2025, so it counted. That's why. But it's like, yeah, just you guys have an opportunity to really make something good here, So I personally really hope they do capitalize on it. We'll see how long it goes, whether it goes up to Mania or if maybe it goes into just Elimination Chamber. I don't know, but just give us something compelling, something to talk about, because that's why we started doing Weebs of the Ring. That's why we want to be on here every single week talking about all this. Because, man, we would have like 2.5 hour shows of just getting into stuff. Now it's just like, well, that was cookie cutter. That could have been.
It should have been an email.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or worse yet, it could have been a text message. Yeet. But anyways, that's besides the point. Yeah, I just hope for more. I want more. Just give me more. Give me what I want. Like Batista told Triple H many years ago. So, moving right along to another story that we have, we're going to talk about our World Heavyweight title picture. CM Punk now needs a new contender because don't need to worry about Bron Breakker anymore. He's already beaten him relatively clean. And I say relatively, but it's whatever. So Punk needs a new opponent going into like Royal Rumble, going into Chamber and all that. He does the typical, oh, I'm the stopgap of WrestleMania. I'll be watching Royal Rumble and Chamber closely because that's going to be my next opponent, blah, blah, blah. But one man who's not going to wait for those moments is Finn Balor. Finally, after 2 months of CM Punk, after CM Punk had called him out, Finn Balor finally makes his appearance, and that's only because freaking Liv Morgan is in the back being like, "Hey, do something."
Yeah.
It's like, yes, thank you. Do something. So Finn Balor comes out, basically challenges CM Punk to a title match next week in Belfast, Ireland. So they're already loading up the show with some banger matches with that and IC title and all that stuff. But I'm excited for this match because I think if they allow Finn Balor to actually do shit to actually wrestle, we're in for a good time next week with him and CM Punk. I'm wondering how their chemistry is gonna work together as well, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But I mean, I thought this was a solid promo segment. I'm I'm starting to kind of understand how the internet has been feeling about CM Punk since he's been back at WWE. The whole like watered down version of him, because I kind of felt it in this promo. Like, yeah, it was a solid promo, yes, but I can feel what you guys are talking about, where it's just like, okay, can we like maybe light CM Punk on fire a little bit more? Like, can he have some sort of more bite to what he says or anything? Can we give him something to chew on? You know, because let's just call a spade a spade. Finn Balor is just a stopgap. Like, he's just a defense for CM Punk to have until whoever actually dethrones him and all that. But Drop, what do you think of the promo segment? Are you excited for Finn Balor next week? Do you do you have any faith that Finn Balor is going to have a good 2026? Because you're supposed to have a good 2025.
Yeah. I'll say that I'm happy he had an interaction with Punk. I'll give a golden star to that because, like we talked about before, where AJ Styles' position needs to be on the show, Finn Balor needs to be doing the same thing because he's not a mid-carder. I don't care if people say you want the guy to go after the IC title, whatever. He's not a mid-carder. He's always been a main eventer to me, and he's never really been able to have that spotlight that he had before ever since he got injured all those years ago when he won the title. Like, he never got the opportunity to really have a run as the world champion. And it's weird because it's been, I think, around 10 years now since that happened. I think him and Seth had that match in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. So once SummerSlam hits later this year, it's going to be 10 years. So it's like, you got to do something with the man because he can't just be like this background character. Like, to me, he kind of looks like a background character in the show. And I don't like that. I don't like how he's the one in the back. You got Liv doing this. You got Roxanne doing that. You got Raquel doing her own thing. You got Dom, who's currently out injured. They don't want to vacate the IC title from him for whatever reason, but that's another story for another day. That's why I left some breathing room throughout the week, because just in case news reports or if me, Watkins, or Vash want to go on a couple rants, we could fill in some space for that. But it's like, he needs to be put in a position where he actually like feels important. And I want to say that I want to expect, you know, something good coming out of him moving forward, especially when it comes to next week. But I'm not too confident in that unless they show me moving forward that they're actually wanting to use the guy. He unfortunately adapted the name Finn Balor. Do I like that? No. Do I want to see him succeed? Yes. I really want the guy to do something special, and I'm hoping and I'm praying that at the very least, a step forward is just getting him out of the Judgment Day. Because I was actually talking about this with one of my friends at work, like before I went on vacation. It might have been like a week or so before that, but that's besides the point. But one of the things that he did say that makes a lot of sense to me now is the Judgment Day honestly feels like a female faction. Like, if you think about it realistically, you got Liv Morgan, Raquel, and Roxanne Perez, really like the highlights of the group when it comes to what they're doing. Like, Liv and Raquel are after those tag titles now. And Raquel has made it her mission statement that, she wants to be world champion and everything. Dom's out of commission. We don't know when he's going to be coming back. And then it's just Finn. So in all honesty, it's really the girls like carrying, the whole story of like bringing gold to the group and everything. What is Finn really doing? He doesn't really fit. And then you got JD's out as well. So it's like, this is just a perfect opportunity, especially with the words he said earlier that night. Like, wait, just watch, like, just get him out. It's not going to do him any good keeping him there. Just get him out, because I don't understand. Like, if you want to do something with the girls, do something with the girls. That whole, a lot of things need to be like remodeled when it comes to where everybody is in that and their own positions on that show, because having main eventers mid card programs for whatever reason, I mean, I don't want to even get into that. But I'm just hoping for the best out of that. And also the thing with the CM Punk thing, I can understand where you're coming from with that, because, I mean, I've always saw Punk as somebody who was just really upfront with you, and he's the kind of guy where he didn't care who you were. You could be his best friend for 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years. He never cared. He just said what he wanted to say. And I can definitely feel that when it comes to like a watered down CM Punk. Do I still love him? Of course. Do I love seeing him on the screen? Of course. But I mean, he the only thing as of recent that he really did where he got that little edge out of him was probably when we saw him do that thing recently when he had that little promo segment, talking all that crap about Bron Breakker. That was the most CM Punk I've seen in a while. But until he turns heel, I don't see us really getting that Punk that we are used to seeing. We got to get another heel run.
Yeah, and even when Seth comes back, I mean, they'll probably more than likely run that back. But it's just like, what more do you do then at that point? Because there's that stuff, there's the stuff with the Vision and Seth. I'm sure there's other stories that they would like to tell. I mean, there's the whole Seth and Roman stuff too that we didn't get to revisit after Mania. But yeah, I don't know what else you do besides turn him heel, unless somebody actually wants to have some attitude towards him, like Bron Breakker was getting out of him. But can't capitalize on young talent right now. Gotta keep the old guys going. Nah, that's the internet talking right there, everybody. But I mean, I see your point with a lot of it, and I was actually thinking about it earlier today too. Like, for me, I think the nail in the coffin for Finn Balor was that WrestleMania match he had with Edge, that Hell in a Cell match.
I agree. He should have won that match.
Yeah. I stand on that hill. He should have won that match.
I'm shocked Cody didn't ask that question during the interview, because I was hoping he would have, and he didn't, and that's something that I wish that they did discuss.
What, the Mania loss to Edge, or
the Mania loss? Because he did talk about the demon, like Finn, and like the concept, and they did speak about that, and he spoke that like when he came to this company, they used that more as a cash grab, more of merch selling and everything like that, and he's aware of that. But he's a bit of disappointed in the aspect that when it comes to Finn himself, he cannot win without the demon persona, and that's something that he wasn't very happy about.
Well, because that's the thing. They always used it as like, okay, this is my trump card and all that. But then if that was the case, because there was a few instances like, oh, I don't know, the one time you faced Brock Lesnar for the title and you didn't bust out the demon then.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Look, what I'll say, chat, is that this stuff when it comes to CM Punk, I get where people are coming from. I understand your perspective and everything, but I just love how he points the obvious. I love how Finn came out, because I wrote this in a document just for me to remember. I love how when Punk said, "Yeah, I did call you out, but I called you out 2 months ago. Where the fuck have you been with that motivation? Why it took you 2 months to come out and see me that I call you out?" And I felt like Finn didn't have nothing to say or clap back, because he just stood quiet there for a moment after he said something. But it was just funny. Like, I didn't even know. Oh, I think I read the report that Finn did go out from CM Punk. I believe CM Punk did name a few people that he would love to still, give it in the ring. But it's just funny how Finn literally took 2 months, and it's like you laugh at how Liv Morgan came at him in the backstage saying that, hey, why are you here playing video games? Like, I thought you was gonna, bring gold back in the Judgment Day. So it kind of makes you feel like that is true. Finn has literally been playing video games or doing a lot of training, staying in shape. So, those things takes time. Sometimes you get it to fix your respiratory system and you catch my drift. So it's interesting. I'm excited, nonetheless, for Finn versus AJ Styles. I'm thrilled to see that, where we go in the story. But I know Finn is going to lose. I don't think we're going to get Finn winning in Ireland next week. If that does happen, bro, that should throw everyone like, hey, Drew McIntyre's win. Now we get Finn to win. Like, shit, everyone hopes, like, yo, Triple H, he's actually pulling the plug. He's actually doing something.
I hope he doesn't pull the plug on Finn Balor. I'm gonna say that right now. It's like, push that, man. I think my biggest thing too, because I was thinking about this on my ride home as well. I'm like, they can really tell if WWE had better writers, they could really tell a nuanced story about like a fallen prince right here, since Finn does have the moniker of a prince and all that.
Yeah.
They could really do something compelling with that and like have it by the end of the year he's world champion again. But I don't trust the writers to do something as nuanced as a story like that. But maybe you guys can surprise me. You guys surprised me on Friday. Surprise me. Make me feel
Chad,
again.
NWE, I know you're watching this. Please use that story and give Watkins credit to actually have a Prince story for the next couple of months and actually reward him for SummerSlam. You have a 2-day night. You could do something there, or maybe have him win at WrestleMania, or have him something build. We'd love to see the Prince actually become the king or become the demon, whichever persona you want to go with. But actually use that Prince story. I support that.
Just make sure that WrestleMania entrance has some Purple Rain to it. But that's neither here nor there. We're going to move on to our mid-card stories.
Purple Rain.
Oh, I love it. Oh, man. The first one we're going to talk... As you can see, the excitement is there for Raw. As you can tell, chat. As you guys can tell. Oh my gosh. Penta and Dragon Lee are taking on the Vision, being represented by Austin Theory and Bronson Reed. Why is this match a thing? Well, you remember the LWO? No, you don't. Because now you got the new LWO of Rey Mysterio, Penta, Dragon Lee. Boy, they're a great team, aren't they? We have Penta and Dragon Lee teaming up. If only Penta had a family member to help him, but whatever. That's fine.
The question is, who's that family member? Because by the time for you to understand, Penta joined WWE literally a year ago from this month of January. He has not wrestled with his brother once, but wrestled with almost 20 people that's not his brother within the past 13 months.
You get stuck in certain vortexes. You gotta fight your way through them. So currently we're in the Vision vortex right now, where Germany just so love themselves some Logan Paul, and Adam Pearce also loves him a lot of Braun Breaker, because we get some setup. Because here's a fun fact for you, everybody. This wasn't much of a match. I'm going to throw that out there. Why? Because you got a tag team match on Monday Night Raw. So already you know the cookie cutter BS that you're going to get. As you can see, we got a nice little trash can ready for us to just take in all the slop that you get. Which sucks, because Penta and Dragon Lee, Bronson Reed, and Austin Theory are really freaking good. But I'm not...
By the way, Austin Theory should not go back to shorts. He should stay with the gear he has. It makes sense for his persona. But going back to shorts, I just feel like it takes off a bit of his persona. It takes off a bit of his new character. I was thrown off about that. I don't know if anybody cares about that comment, but to want to state that, that's all.
Yes, go back to the pee pants. This match gets thrown out because Braun Breaker does arrive, even though Adam Pearce wants him just to go home, which, thanks for flying to Germany. Go back home to America, I guess. Thanks for spending all that money because we know WWE ain't buying your tickets. We know that much. So, yeah, match gets thrown out because Braun Breaker spears everybody. Adam Pearce is just like, what are you doing? They kind of have an altercation where where Braun Breaker just puts Adam Pearce. He's just like, "What are you doing? What are you gonna do, huh?" Just like threatening him and all that. He gets suspended indefinitely. He's coming back at the Rumble. That's what we're telling because Paul Heyman did mention, "Hey, you touched him first." It's like, all right, cool. Like this. This is what I meant by like this is just a setup chapter for what's probably going to happen at the Royal Rumble with Braun Breaker probably winning. Which, on one hand, again, that's cool. That's cool that he'll probably win the Royal Rumble. But again, why did we have to have last week's match to begin with? I don't know. It's just copy and paste on paper. Oh, Jey Uso loses to Gunther. Wins the Rumble.
It's literally copy and paste from last year's story. We literally had CM Punk Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins and CM Punk opened the show Monday Night Raw as the first time they wrestle. And then guess what? They still have their own match, even though it became a triple threat. They still have their own match in WrestleMania. They're literally copying the storyline they did last year.
Oh no.
Do we need it? No, we don't. But guess what? What's better way than copying your own damn homework? Nothing.
By doing it wrong.
Yeah, not even improving it. Not even getting it better homework. Yeah. Not even going from a B storyline to an A storyline.
Yeah, because like I think what gets me, because I had read what happened with Pierce and all that, like, oh, Braun Breaker attacked Adam Pearce, and like literally, Vash, the way you described it in the thread sounded a lot more intimidating than what actually happened. I thought Braun Breaker had speared Pierce and some shit like that, and I'm just like, oh, that would have been cool. No, they just kind of butted heads.
I love the way I give comments here when I watch my animes on the thread, or when I give my comments when I watch Raw SmackDown. I just be like, just fast, like quick thoughts, and it's just, I just thought Braun Breaker could have done what like other wrestlers have done to Vince or to other manager roles, but all Braun did was like a bulldog trying to attack a human. That's what it was. Braun Breaker, he's the bulldog. He is the person that will be all bark but no bite. Because all he did was bark as loud and push down at him. And Paul Heyman was like, yo, I'm sorry. And I love how Logan Paul comes in the middle of the camera and the mic. He said, yo, man, I'm sorry, but hey, he will kill you, man. He will kill you. I love how it goes to commercial break. And then Michael Cole finally speaks up. He's like, guys, you heard it here. Logan Paul said that Braun Breaker's in the mood, that he said he will be killing Adam Pearce if he doesn't, back off. And I'm like, all right, cool. But then Braun Breaker and Adam Pearce was in backstage, and Adam Pearce didn't get killed because Braun Breaker was like 6 inches away from him. So where's the killing part? Where's the ruthless aggression? Where's the bark, but where's the bite?
Drop, are we just being haters right now, or do you think we actually have some sort of legs to stand on with our complaints?
So when it comes to this, really, I mean, I have nothing to say to this because, I mean, these guys could be doing something a lot more useful than what they're doing right now. Like, Penta could be doing things with his brother right now. Dragon Lee can honestly, I mean, realistically, he should be going after the IC title or something right now, having some sort of singles championship.
If only.
And then the Vision should, try prepping themselves because we know it's coming, unfortunately, with them going after the Usos for those titles. So here we go, Usos getting involved in a storyline with the Vision again in the next month and a half or so. And, the whole thing with Braun Breaker, it's like I said, like a little bit earlier in the show, I kind of wish they pulled the trigger last week with him beating Punk for the title and everything, because I mean, if this is their way of telling us that, yeah, he's gonna appear during the Royal Rumble and he's gonna win it, I can't. And that could just be me just fantasy booking in my head, and it's never gonna happen. But the WWE just seems so telegraphed nowadays. Like I was just thinking as you guys were talking, like, why does everything like sound so cringy? It's like over like they over promote themselves. They had this whole Stranger Things where they copy the title cards and everything to make it look like it's the episode of the show. Like, why are we trying so hard? Like, why it literally feels like things that you would throw in like Chat GPT and it like builds a prompt in something and they just follow through with it. Even the way that the show is written sometimes with the kinds of things that they're saying, like it literally sounds like something you would find from that generator or something from like an early 2000s game, like a Spider-Man game or a Hulk game or Superman game. Well, like Peter Parker is just going to do his daily job taking pictures, and then you just have Jonah saying a little message and stuff. Like it just seems like that little corny dialogue from like early 2000s that they're still adapting in this generation. Like I don't get it. Like it just seems like they're overly like they're overselling. Like there's a difference between selling to make things look effective, but then they're just overselling with everything that they're doing. And then this whole thing with like, you know, Braun Breaker now, like, okay, you know, he's getting all frustrated and stuff, but it's like, what's the payoff here? Like, it's like the whole Drew thing, unexpected, it happened. I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound like this, but I'm hoping this isn't them doing a slow build to Braun winning the Rumble. I don't know if I'm gonna get hyped for that, to be honest.
Yeah, and I mean, it could be. Which, see, again, it just there's two sides to that. It's just like on one hand, I could be hyped about Braun Breaker winning the Royal Rumble. That's cool. That's a great little acumen to have or accomplishment to have because winning the Royal Rumble, that's a huge thing. But it's just the road getting there just kind of is bland. You know, it's just, you go to all these ice cream shops on the road to this WrestleMania, on this road to the Royal Rumble, and all the flavors they have is vanilla. And no, not even like the good kind of vanilla either. Like the one that just kind of sits there. There's no sprinkles. There's no other flavors you can put on there. They just have vanilla. But they tease you with the chocolate, but it's always freaking broken. Yeah. Like one restaurant in my hometown was like that. Piece of crap. Like there could be so much. I think the other thing too tonight is, and especially this week, a little bit last week too, but especially this week, the Vision just felt like goons.
It did.
They did not feel like a threat. They did not feel like your quote unquote top heel faction on your show. You know, they felt worse than the MFTs did or do. Like, I can at least get more an enjoyment out of Mr. Yeah, even though he just likes to stare at US titles all the time. Like,
I would agree to that as well because in the commentary, Michael Cole said this is the Vision that are up and becoming as a menace. I'm like, wait, but haven't they been doing that? Hasn't Paul been telling us that they've
since almost a
been
year ago?
dominating with Seth Rollins? Like it literally has been 9 months because we're about to reach WrestleMania full circle. So why are you not hyping them up? Commentary, you said the opposite. What you're supposed to do? You literally said, "Oh, the team that's supposed to be rise in the dominance." I'm like, nah, they're supposed to be dominating, but like. I don't know. It just feels lackluster, and I agree on that stance. What you're talking about, that for the Vision, it doesn't feel as execution as it should be over the past 2 weeks, or maybe they're not hitting as strong in the Europe crowd. That could also be something as well.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the crowd loved them some Logan Paul. You know, a lot of FU Logans going on out there. I like that. I like that part at least. That was fun. But yeah, like, and we're having a nothing match, and then in the background of Pierce yell. Okay, this was actually kind of funny. Where like Adam Pearce was yelling at Braun Breaker, but in the background you just see Bronson Reed go up to the turnbuckle and give a tsunami down to like Penta and Rafe. I did think that was funny. That was kind of funny with them arguing and that happening in the back, but I don't know, just you're not giving us anything to really dive into or speculate or talk about or anything, because really the one thing should have happened last week, but now we're gonna have to wait for it. We're gonna have to prolong it, like a lot of these stories that we just keep trudging along with. It's just ready for some things to be done with so we can move on.
I do want to say one positive thing. The camera work in this episode, in this scenes was great.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
drone.
it was better.
We talk about the drone shot.
Definitely.
Yeah, the drone shots, like those were good. The crane shot they also had was good.
Yeah.
Like those few things is the only positive thing I would mention when it comes to this. Because hey, when Braun Breaker was running down the fucking ramp to hit Dragon Lee, that was an awesome drone shot. That's all.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, you know it's powerful. You know it's great. You know it's a good shot.
Oh boy.
Jevon Evans taking on one of the Americanos.
Oh boy.
Doesn't that get you hyped?
I'm really hoping they're not putting him in this like program with them for like the next month or two, because he's the kind of guy, if they really want to start putting things in the record books early since he's so young, he could easily be a world champion. He could potentially break whatever records they have now if they really want to play their cards right. Because if I'm not wrong, Randy Orton is currently the youngest
24.
champion, and Jevon Evans is like what, 20 or 19 or something? 21.
21, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like he could easily, make history right there. I mean, they're super high on him in NXT. I mean, he's already on the main roster, which is just pretty crazy to think about as it is. So it's like, looking at where he is right now, I mean, here's the thing. If this match was with the people that they actually are, like a Tyler Bate and a Pete Dunne, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yes,
but the fact that it's one of the Americanos and this thing is still going on and everything, that's the issue I have. That's why I'm hoping whenever Chad Gable comes back, he bodies them, the whole storyline is done. Because I personally feel like this ran its course. It was fine if one guy, but he doesn't need two minions. I feel like that's a little much. He doesn't need like two guys by himself building his own little family and everything. But I'm just hoping that Jevon Evans isn't in this thing forever.
Remember, by the history books, supposedly this family has been here.
I just want Jevon Evans in like meaningful things. Like we just brought up the IC title thing earlier. Dragon Lee should be going after that. Jevon Evans is another name that could be going after that as well. There's a reason why Watkins is showing that title, because, I mean, looking at what WWE has done in the past, if somebody is injured, like when it comes to something going on with them, they had to vacate the belt. They did it with Rhea when she got injured. Man.
You gotta pivot.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, if you're going to purposely just have the IC title be absent right now, then don't follow through what you did before in the past and say that, oh, when someone gets injured, we're going to take away the title and everything. You clearly stated that Dom is out. Why is the IC title not there? Here he is, a world champion, another company. Just have him keep that title and everything, and then he could drop it here. You could have people going for it. I mean, hell, people like tournaments. Make it vacate. Do a little mini tournament for it. You could have...
I would love that.
People on Raw go back and forth. Maybe Jevon's in the finals. Dragon Lee's in the finals. They're going after it. Either one of them wins. I mean, there's easy things to do here. I don't understand why it's so hard to do. Like, take risks here. Don't feel too comfortable with the money. You got to learn to expand. You got to learn to do something different. Pokemon does the same thing. They play it safe with the games that they come out with every single year. And I was talking about this earlier with friends. This year marks Pokemon's 30th anniversary. Pokemon Day is next month. Me and Watkins aren't stupid, and Vash isn't either. They're more than likely showing off Gen 10. I mean, 30th anniversary, Gen 10, showing off what you could do with the Nintendo Switch 2's, power. I mean, they're obviously going to show it off there. Realistically, we should be looking forward to that game and expect a lot of things. But just like WWE, when it's a booking, you can't really give them too much to work with because they don't like taking risks. They don't like doing anything different.
No, they
They're
don't.
free to change.
You know, and I mean, I kind of agree with you too. I hope this is just a short-term program.
Short
Just
term.
have them run. Just have him run through the Americanos each week. Be done with it by the time he's beaten the El Grande Americano, and then move on to something else. Again, there's a nice, freshly washed, icy title that somebody is on the shelf with right now. Do something. Do something. Like,
I agree. And Chad, also, like, sadly, there was a good interview with him with Brian Braxton. I highly suggest for you guys to find it online because it was a really good one that they had with Jevon Evans, literally hyping himself up. Literally saying, yeah, it's my first time in Europe. He started training in the NXT Performance Center at 19. 2 years later and a half, he is 21 at the main roster, and something that they're hyping up about. Make him a world champion by this year before he becomes 22. Like, take off that new record, Randy. Like, not saying that we gotta wash things away of the record books. Randy will still be mentioned. He's the second youngest, but also it'll be hype for Jevon Evans as somebody who's 21. That's something fire to be talked about. That's something fire to have as his resume. That he got the IC title at a young age, or he got the world title, one of the world title as a young age. So I do agree with that. I don't have much to add. Well, with these two gentlemen already said about the Americano Rotex, I want something next. He has a second Europe tour next week for Monday Night Raw. So hopefully Jevon Evans has something else. I already showed the guys off screen that how bare bones the fucking main roster is right now. It gets me annoyed. They was hearing me give a whole rant about the women division and the tag division, but that's a different conversation for another time. But chat, please, Jevon Evans, I'd rather you go for something else. Hopefully in the Royal Rumble, I know you're going to be doing some amazing things. I would love to see a match, by the way. I'm going to shoot my shot. Jevon Evans and Kofi Kingston. I would love to see that.
yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, but it does kind of seem like Javon's going to go into the Vision Vortex next, but, we'll cross that bridge when we cross it. But hey, you know what? I'm glad you brought up the women's tag team division and the women's roster in general, because we got to talk about those freshly won women's tag titles for Rio. So again, great that they won him and all that. What more are we going to do? Well, we're going to start off Monday Night Raw with Monday Night Rio. Okay, you're just giving the internet more fuel for however they make fun of how these segments start, with like the whole Monday Night Mommy, or how CM Punk starts things off anymore, which is like, isn't it good? Doesn't it feel good to be in insert name of city on a Monday night? Or what do you want to talk about? Nah, I'm hating now. I'm hating. I got my hater cap on. So yeah, we got to find out new number one contenders for the women's tag titles. So instead of doing things on SmackDown with the two teams that kind of have a right to, hey, let's throw some other teams that I guess don't. I don't want to say they don't deserve it, but if we're calling a spade, yeah, don't deserve it, because we have Bayley and Lyra who want a shot. We have Roxanne and Liv who want a shot. Now, Liv does have reason because she technically never lost them herself, but that's semantics and all that. And the Kabuki Warriors who just lost the titles. We're going to have a triple threat match, playa. The winner faces the women's tag champions at Saturday night's main event. Chaotic match throughout. I also couldn't really pay attention because I was driving at the time, so thanks, commentary, for trying to help. But, it's whatever. They want to try to tell a story, but stories aren't really that good right now. Liv and Roxanne end up winning, so they're going to end up facing Rhea and Io at Saturday night's main event. I doubt they're going to win the titles. I think there's a more tantalizing story / match we could have with the women's tag titles. And this kind of correlates to what I think you guys are going to be talking about here when we open up the segment. I understand what they're trying to do with their women's division, where it's like, okay, let's booster up these tag titles and all that, because they need a good boosting after a while, after just being props or whatever. But and I've said this before, but I'm gonna keep repeating it because eventually it's gonna get through their thick skulls. You don't have the numbers to have these kind of divisions. Like, and that Vash had shared that tweet, that picture of the roster and all that. And I looked at it, I'm just like, my point is proven right here. Because when you look at, especially in the mid card part, all of them are in tag teams, and it's all like the people that could be at the top of the cards. So like your Charlottes, your Alexas, your Oscars. I'll throw Kyrie in there as well. Your Rheas, your Eos, and all that. So I I get what they're trying to do. It's just you kind of sacrifice the rest of your mid card women's division as well as your upper card, like your main event scene of the women's division, because the fact that your world champion is being put in a quickfire segment tonight for like the second week in a row, the fuck are we doing? The fuck are we doing here? But I mean, again, from what I could tell, the match seemed fine. Again, bit chaotic, which these multi-person matches can get. I'm gonna bring it off to you guys. Vash, why don't you start us off? What did you think of the match? Things going forward when it comes to the women's tag titles, and if you maybe foresee the team that dethrones Rio.
It's hard to tell with the women division right now. The women division is very bare bones. Like I said, like Walker brought up as well. I sent the picture of how fucking this division is, and we've been complaining about it because how Jade has had 90 days as champion and only had one title defense versus Mitchin over like one time. So it's like it shows you the women division for both main roster on SmackDown and Raw. Chat, don't worry, we're not only talking about Raw, we're talking about Raw and SmackDown. All Raw is bare bones and his booty shakes. Because don't worry, we will talk about Stephanie Vaquer momentarily and how that shit happens with Cal and everything else as a rerun, because we don't need that shit. But just to give you guys a snippet of how annoying it is, that's what it is. But however, for Roxanne and versus Roxanne and Liv actually being the winner, you know why? I was shocked because Liv Morgan came back and she needs a W to show that she's still on top. So for her going with Roxanne, I get thrown off, honestly, because you know why? It's seeing two short girls actually working together. Because before I used to see Raquel and Liv Morgan, it was tall and short, but then I saw Raquel and Roxanne tall and short. Now that I see both of them being short and short, just like maybe like 3 inches difference, it kind of throws me off. I'm like, wait, there's not much of a difference. It's hard to tell. So it's just in that funny comedy aspect. However, the match was good. The match was entertaining. I'm not saying that it was any high regards of any crazy movesets. Every girl had their own spot. Every girl had their own moment to kind of kick them out, push them out, so they didn't get the chance to win. So it was fast paced in the last few minutes of the sequence. However, the Oblivion was well executed by Kyrie and Liv Morgan. I thought Roxanne would be taking the pin for that succession, but it seemed like Liv Morgan did the last minute swap for the hot tag, and Liv Morgan executed that well. And I don't know what it is with all these ladies that doing the full body turn and just having their head up like, yeah, bitch, I'm this flexible and I'm winning with this pin. I'm like, I feel like Jade has done it, Rhea has done it in a more provocative way, and Liv Morgan is doing it now too. So I'm like, all right, ladies, we know you're hot, but do we need the full hotness being shown? Like, can we just get the regular pin and then go? But hey, y'all do you. Y'all enjoying this and y'all love it. Go flex. That's all I got.
But go flex on these pecs. Yeah. Stop. What do you think of everything? I know you weren't here last week to kind of talk about the tag title win and all that. But yeah, go ahead. What do you think of, I guess, the win as well? Kind of want to hear your thoughts on that. That our new number one contenders, and I guess just the overall state of the women's division right now.
I mean, I'm just hoping they sort things out because I don't really care to see a lot of main event talent involved with these tag titles. Like, if you want to just leave it to people that really don't have things going on, like, I mean, in all honesty, like a Lyra Valkyria or like somebody else that fits the bill with that. Maybe you could throw Bayley in there too, because they don't really put her in the main event scene as much as when she won the title from EU at WrestleMania. Anyway, then you can do that, but it's like bringing Charlotte in the mix and Alexa in the mix. I mean, it's just really hurting like whatever they're doing on SmackDown. Like it almost tells me that I mean, Jade should have never won that belt
Mm-mm.
because it
Mm-mm.
was a good execution when it came to the heel turn, but it all depends what follows afterwards. Nothing's going good with her. I mean, just
Yeah.
have Charlotte do something else, have Alexa do something else. They've been involved in that scene. I mean, I think it's clear as day now that they could just everybody can move on, do their own thing. Like Bayley and Lyra, they need to move on. Roxanne and Liv, they won the match, so they're allowed to go up against Rio for this match for the women's tag titles. Are they going to win? Probably not, but it's something for them to do in the meantime. And maybe try doing something with Kairi Zane. Like
Yeah, that would be nice.
it just seems really weird that all of a sudden she's just fully absorbed whatever Asuka's throwing at her. When before she was just very hesitant when things, but now everything is just full throttle all of a sudden. So I
Agree.
guess there's
Mm.
not going to be any follow up with that where she hits her back or she gets in her face too much. I guess she's fully comfortable with whatever she's doing now. But it's like,
Yeah.
try to do a little something. Like, try to spice things up a little bit. You don't always have to do the same things all the time. Like, I'm glad the women's
Mm.
titles are getting pushed because they were really absent, just like how the IC title is now. But yeah, that's honestly all I have to really say. I don't really have
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, and just know, chat. Like whenever we mention like the poor quality of everything, it's not really the talent. It's not the quality of the talent. It's
Yeah,
the quantity for once. Like they
yeah,
just don't have the numbers to really flesh out
yeah.
these divisions. But that's
Another,
again that's just a tale as old as time. But again, I feel like it's just something that just needs to be repeated because I'm hoping one day they can actually realize that they just don't have the numbers for all of this.
yeah,
You know, one day, one day, chat, we will. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be cool that because there is at least some storyline when it comes to these new number one contenders. Because there is Liv with all her history, with Rhea, with Io too as well. Like they have some sort of history, especially Io having that world title when Liv lost and all that. Yeah, yeah. I'm looking forward to it at least. Quick fire segments, though. We have a few quick fire segments to kind of go by really quick. Becky Lynch is looking to end Maxine Dupree. She does have a point. Why does Maxine get her rematch a week after her win or loss of the title? But Becky Lynch had to wait 2 months. I don't know. You got some points there, girl. Just like Drew McIntyre did. Hopefully, we actually freaking end this next week because I'm
please.
ready to move on to her and AJ Lee for that title, which is more than likely the case. Alpha Academy want a shot at the tag titles as well. I thought this was a good segment in the back, kind of showing. Hopefully, we're actually pushing more towards this asshole Jay that we're about to get, like this tribal chief version, if you will, of Jey Uso. Maybe we can actually capitalize on that. Again, I don't trust the writers too well to be super nuanced with all this. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. And Stephanie Vicaire, girl, I love you, but this was dumb. This was very dumb. You're injured with a boot. You go out there to scare Raquel Rodriguez, who's talking shit, and then you turn your back on where she went, talked shit, and then got shit. Like, come on, man. Do better, people. Do better, man. Stop having these dumbass baby faces. Stop having these idiots as baby faces. Not saying Stephanie Vaquer is an idiot, but you're making her look like one.
Agree. You're making her look dumb. You're making her look foolish. Because how the fuck do you let her turn around and let her be blindsided? Like she literally like, you want me? I cool, I got you. And then literally get blindsided while she's in mid promo trying to execute it. You didn't need her. You didn't need Raquel to come back out. You could let just Raquel run away. She did the damage already. Why do we need her to look more dominant for what?
Yeah.
She already took out her ankle. Stephanie already posted a picture of how her ankle looks a couple days ago. We know what are the results so far. We don't need more of Raquel attacking. You already executed that. We know there's gonna be a match on Saturday Night Main Event or Royal Rumble, and then Raquel will win. At this point, just give the belt to Raquel, so Stephanie could go back to the regular person that she is. That she's not like a. My apologies, but not like a pussy bitch, and that's not what she ain't. That's not what Stephanie is. She's dominant. She's a warrior. We've seen in NXT in her fights in the Indies, but now the writers is making her look that she has to walk limping, then get side hit. That should piss me off. But the one thing that I did like though about this little quick fire segment chat is the Alpha Academy. Jey Uso did a fucking little commercial under actually 2 minutes, and it could have been sent an email or text message. Because we didn't need this. We could have done it literally without what he came out for during commercial. Like, ye concert, yo, chat, crowd. Remember what I said last week? I'm gonna repeat it once more, and then bye. I'm like, you could literally have done the backstage segment with Otis without what he did a couple minutes ago. That was not needed. But the Otis thing, I love how Otis just kept saying like, hey, I'm serious. Jay was trying to be like, wait, dog, you serious? But just know, when you come in the ring with us, you're going to get the full dog down. You're going to get the full meat. You're going to get the full like throttle. And I'm like, bro, Jay, you're taking this out of it a bit too much for me. Like, you sound better. I did write this in the thread of our Raw chat that this sounded better as Jey Uso as a tag team champion, as a tag team winner. But I did give my prediction that he wants to talk about the best tag team in the world. I bet you, and I hope so, that we get a Rhea and Penta coming back together throughout the next 3 months, and we get them at WrestleMania, so the Penta and Rey Fenix could take out and they become the best tag team in the world with all the shit they're talking, because I feel like it should go for those brothers instead. But I would love to see a match between the Machine Gun and Motor City, somehow one way versus the Usos. That would be really good to see. But that's all I got for this. The Becky Lynch and Maxine thing, all I got is Maxine got the rematch faster because she's nicer. And Becky, you act like a Karen. That's all I got.
But, oh my gosh. What about you, Drop? How you feel about these quick fire segments, especially from our girl, Stephanie Vaquer?
Yeah, I'll keep it quick, just like the segment itself. Becky and this whole Maxine thing and definitely needs to end. Need to get to Becky and AJ. I do not know why we're waiting super long to get there. It's actually pretty crazy. It's taken this long to actually get there. Like, she got that one win at that PLE, and then she pinned her again during War Games. Still no follow-ups. Really weird how we're not there yet. But I mean, it's like we spoke about before, Watkins. This was just a moment for Maxine, and unfortunately, I want to say I see more things after this, but I feel like there's some truth with what Becky said in her promo of, I mean, this is probably her last moment in the big time, because, I mean, in all honesty, I don't trust them on follow-ups, so I feel like this is probably the biggest moment she's really going to get as of right now until something else happens. And when it comes to the Alpha Academy, I'll be honest, I haven't seen them in forever. It's hard for me to really get behind them. So, I mean, cool. I don't really care about the whole Jey Uso thing. Like, that needs to, that needs to just get off my TV. I do agree with the whole Penta and Rey Fenix thing. I mean, do something unique. You can easily have, like, a brother and two brothers going up against another two brothers. I mean, the story writes itself. I don't see why we don't do something like that. Please do not do any Vision at WrestleMania. Do something like this. At least it's engaging and it actually screams a WrestleMania match. In all honesty, like, look at what the Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros did all those years ago. If you really want to create magic to that extent, or at least get close to it, I mean, the Lucha Bros versus the Usos could. I mean, they work very well together. So you could get something like that. And I don't know what they're doing with Stephanie Vaquer. Like, are they trying to write her off television? Like, that's what I thought when I saw clips last week, but she's coming back. So what's really going on here? Does Raquel want to win just because Stephanie Vaquer is weak? Is this just a story? What's going on here? We really need to start kicking things into gear with that.
Yeah. God, they need to start kicking gears into a lot of things. So that was our quickfire segments, and chat. That is our show. That is our lovely show of Monday Night Raw that took place in Germany this year, or this week. I mean, this year. Yeah, that counts. That counts. It's 2026.
Hey, chat.
It's a new year.
I know you're excited to see Watkins speaking Irish next week.
Oh, we're gonna get a little Irish in here. Oh yeah, I'm gonna work on it this week. Yeah, sorry, no German intro this week. I'll learn some Gaelic. Why not? I have a week. I have a week to do that. Wait, where are they at this Friday? Where are they at this Friday?
I'm not sure.
Don't remember off the top of my head. And yes, chat, we will be live this Friday evening as well, but it will be an earlier show since SmackDown will be at 2 p.m. as well, EST. So we'll be live not as late as 9:40ish that we started. Probably 8 to 9 p.m. we will be live for our discussion for this SmackDown, because it's our first time that will be our Scottish Warrior finally as the champion in his own show.
God, he's been on it too with the social media with it. Like, I prayed for this and it happened, and telling his fans, oh yeah, I told you guys I was gonna bring it back, and I did. Man of my word, and that you are, Drew. So yeah, again, just another Monday Night Raw that could have been an email. Like,
yeah,
maybe, you know what? I'll bump you up a little bit. This could have just been a YouTube short, which, if you're paying attention to the product at all from the past year, that's all they give a shit about. All they care about is making sure that they can make that short form content for you to consume. Yeah, exactly. Like on the reels, on the TikToks, on the shorts. That's all they care about. That's all they want to give you and all that. Just a couple seconds of serotonin and then moving on to the next thing. That's WWE in a nutshell. In 2025, seems to be bleeding over in 2026. Not sure what we're doing with some of these stories. At least the AJ Gunther thing has me invested. The CM Punk Finn Balor match is going to be good next week. I think there's a good story there to tell with Finn Balor as a fallen prince, but that involves some nuanced writers that WWE just don't have anymore, or don't seem to give a crap about with making. So I don't know. You would think with a business that's not about pro wrestling but about the sports entertainment, you'd be entertained by some sports, but nah. It's just another week of, all right, that happened. Cool.
Look, chat, just be aware that next week we will have the next tag team member of Penta, and it will be Jevon Evans with Penta next week, chat. You guys heard it here, that will be his 29th opponent. 29th tag team partner. That's not his brother, Ray Phoenix. Hey. Stay tuned. That's all I got.
That's all Vash has. What? Do you have any more boxes for us, Drop?
No. I just hopefully. I mean, I don't even want to reiterate anything. I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. He carefully laid that box down for you, everybody. He didn't drop it on your foot.
No.
Nah, he was just like, nah.
Maybe I should with the creative team.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Hey,
They need
Triple
a
H,
big old box.
if you need to hire some new writers, we are available. We would love to, help you in the writers' room. Two of us live close to the headquarters, so we could literally just drive up there if you guys need some new writers. We'd love to take a little nice paycheck. We have no problem. I
ain't
don't know
doing that
about
for
Wonka is
free.
able to travel this far. He is also an AEW fan, but hey, he'll be respectful and not
Look,
choose sides.
I'll shill. Just pay me. Just pay me.
Yeah, we're not doing
I
it
will
for
sell
free.
my soul for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about it. That's all the energy y'all get from us tonight. Until the product gets better, hey, this is what you're getting. This is what you signed up for. This is the contracts that we all signed for.
Look,
So
Chet, before Walker passes to me and tells me to do the plugs, I'm going to start it off myself, Chet, because you could see everything that we do of Weebs of the Ring on Animal Weeb Studio, the parent company, where we talk about everything of anime, manga, wrestling, webtoons, and everything positive within entertainment of the Weebs. Conversation of the culture, and that's what we have. Weebs Lounge that comes every Tuesday at 10 a.m. That's coming to more for the most anticipated of 2026, where we have Off the Bench episode 62 of a 4-hour-and-a-half podcast talking about 25 plus anime discussion reviews for the seasonal winter of week 1 review. We also have our Stranger Things conversation. We also have ReZero on the Animal Studio Vote channel. We also have Trigon Stampede reaction coming this Friday. Sentenced to be a Hero dropping out this Thursday, episode 2, and Digimon Beat Break every Sunday morning, or for this past week, every Sunday evening, but it will be Sunday mornings. And so much more conversations and coverage with Weebs of the Ring as well. Check out short form content, check out clips forms as well from the show. If you guys don't check out the full coverage, thank you for checking out the shorts as well. Nonetheless, thank you for also checking out social media, Drop This Box, World Walkers MW, Legendary Vash, and Amway Studio. And also, we not only have a hashtag of Weebs of the Ring, we also have the handle of Weebs of the Ring on all social media platforms. Go also check out Drop This Box personal channel. All the links are down below, as well for Walkers MW and his 4-hour stream of his best media of 2025.
Yay. I love how Vash assumed I was gonna have him do the plugs, but you know what? You do you, King. You do you. That's fine. It's all good. Oh man. Yep, we're gonna sign off now. So thank you so much for taking time out of your day to listen to the Weebs of the Ring podcast. If you enjoyed what we had to say, again, do all that wonderful stuff that Vash told you about. We're known as Weebs of the Ring on all social media platforms. Be sure to follow us on there. Keep up with us by using the hashtag Weebs of the Ring to interact with us before, during, or after these shows. Feedback is also a great way to let us know how we're doing and how things can maybe improve or add to the show or something. Maybe you guys can give us some pointers on enjoying the product again, because yeah, they need to do something with Monday nights. Like, man, the fact I've been enjoying 3-hour SmackDowns more than a 2.5-hour Raw, that's, y'all did something.
Oh, but Femi might come. Who knows?
Oh my god, inject that into my veins, please.
Yeah, and Raw.
So yeah, give us the feedback by using that hashtag Weebs of the Ring and all that wonderful good stuff. Weebs of the Ring is presented by Anime Weeb Studio. Thanks, of course, to our production team for all of their hard work to make this show a reality. Thank you once again for joining us. And remember, as always, no stunt grannies were harmed in the recording of this podcast. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you on Friday for Smack Digging It Down.
Have a good night.